What is happening, guys? It's Good here, bringing you a complete guide for the reunion Easter egg for Descent Exo Zombies. It came out on the 4th of August, it is now the 5th of August, and I am really sorry if I sound quite tired or kind of not myself. It's 9 AM here, and you might not think that's quite early or late, but I haven't been to bed. I got up at 10 AM to download these maps yesterday, and I am just going on pure adrenaline right now because we solved the Easter egg, we found it all out, and hopefully this is one of the first proper compiled guides out there that's not just the odd step now and again. This is a full Easter egg guide, and I can't wait to bring you to it. And again, quite like the carrier one, it's full of bullshit steps that don't make any sense. They push you into later rounds. I'd advise doing this on co-op with kind of like a small team of 2 or 3 instead of solo, because it's really difficult. And one thing that really is annoying in this map, just before we get into the steps, is how Oz just takes you away from it all. He just completely stops you from doing the Easter egg, really, and you got to go fight him twice, and that's annoying. But as soon as you deal with him for the second time, you are all systems go for this Easter egg. So the first thing we need to do is grab an exosuit. Quite self-explanatory, really. You will need one of those to be traveling around and to get your perks. That's fine. And then the first official step is to find 3 valves at the tidal generator room. This is at the back of the map near Juggernog. You need to shoot them until they turn at least 360 degrees, and the blue light on top of them turns on. Now, I found it really easy to actually shoot them at an angle and shoot them where their spurs are, and if I shoot their spurs, they tend to turn around quicker, but they need to turn at least 360 degrees, and with all 3 of them turn 360 degrees and you've got the blue light showing, this will actually open a kind of like a secret area, and it will allow you to access the terminal, which kind of looks like the same one from Outbreak. And then when you're in that room, you want to keep pressing X on this computer, and you have to wait until Angie locks you out, and then Oz will strike you a deal. That's really important because you can't move on to the next step until Oz strikes you a deal, and I've learned that from my experiences doing this step. The second official step is to head to the lounge area, and there will be an airlock in there. You need to hold X on the door to depressurize it. Now, this does take a very long time, so make sure you have a few crawlers or zombies on the other side of the map, something like that. And one good thing about this is that if you get interrupted for any reason whatsoever, you can leave it and come back to it, and it will save your progress. It's really nice. It would have been such a bitch if they didn't do that, so that's a really nice thing. So once that's depressurized, step 3 is to kind of like hold off until round 10, because you need a Goliath to spawn. So around round 10, a Goliath will drop from the sky, and once the Goliath is in, you want to head down to the airlock, hold X, and you will actually get pressurized, the water will come back in, and you will be able to go outside, kind of like the last mission in the campaign, which is really cool. You want to follow the path, you want to say hello to the nice the zombie that's waving at you, get him out of your way, you'll have to melee him, and then make your way to the end, and there will be like a red glowy button. Hold X, that'll turn blue, and what that'll do is actually give the facilities power over to Oz, and that is you holding up your end of the bargain. Now, step 4 is the first of Oz's challenges. This will be a recurring theme, but basically, he has deployed 5 trophy drones, and they will begin to spawn around the facility, all around the map. And like I said, there'll be 5 in total. It's your job to destroy them until they fly out of the facility and escape. It's important to note that the drones will get stronger as you reach the final drone. So every time you kill them, the next one will be stronger. So you want like a shotgun, a blunderbuss is fantastic against them. The S12's good. Something that really packs a punch. And yeah, if you miss one, or you let one escape, or the round ends, you will fail the challenge and you will have to do it again, which is a real bugger. Yeah, it's just a real problem. You want to do this one as quick as possible, because if you don't do this, you do not want this pushing you into later rounds, because there's more steps that will do that for you. So the next step, step 5, is to actually get to the exo room, and there will be a newly opened panel which has revealed like a charging thingy, and you want to let the EMZs hit you around here until this reaches 100%. It's got like a kind of like an arrow that will keep going up that the meter, and every time an EMZ hits you, it will charge it up, and you want to get that to 100%. It's really quite easy and self-explanatory, really. It's not too difficult if you know what you're doing. If you've got a really comfortable training spot around there, it's really easy. Both leading an EMZ mid-round, or picking them all off and like hoarding them all to the end, both of those tactics works really well. It's just what will work for you, really. Now, step 6 is another one of Oz's challenges, but this one is actually really fun, don't worry. So, all you have to do to complete this challenge is to just go an entire round killing zombies with your grenades. You actually can't shoot your gun, which is fun, and your grenade has like a little infinity sign next to it, and honestly, buy contact grenades. I've not done this with frag because I imagine it's not going to be half as fun, but it's literally, if you and your mates just camp in a corner, you can just literally throw out your contact grenades, and that's all you need to do, and you just need to survive a round by only using grenades. It's really, really easy. You're quite lucky if you've got like a dog round or an infected round, but normal rounds aren't too bad either. Now, the 7th step is in the form of jumping puzzles, but you're not having to be drunk, don't worry. I'm going to try and walk you through this as best I can. I'm going to try and walk you through each puzzle because there's like 8 in total. So the first 2, pretty easy, pretty straightforward. You can see right there, it's literally just a jump across job. There's nothing too difficult or special about those, but the third one is quite interesting. You need to do like a prone knee slide, and just before you go off the edge, you want to double jump and then double strafe. Sounds really difficult. It needs a bit of practice, but once that one's done, the 4th one, there's a big wall in the way. All you have to do is jump around it. That one's really easy. That one took us a bit of time to figure out because we didn't see the wall behind the platform behind the wall, but once we did, that was fine. And then the 5th one, it's the first of the scaling challenges. Again, really easy. You just have to kind of mind where you're jumping and you will get to the top, which is fine. The 6th one is quite like the 3rd one, but a bit worse, and basically it's the same kind of strategy, the knee slide, the double jump, and the double strafe. However, you're a bit more enclosed at the end, and you've got to try and get yourself between those 2 walls. The 7th is even harder parkour. I mean, all of them are quite hardcore parkour, but this one's even harder. You've got to travel across like thin walls and stuff like that. That's really, really fun. And then the 8th is just plain evil. You've got to jump up and around platforms that are actually bigger than you. And it's not a good time, but again, just take it quite slowly, know where you're jumping, give it quite a wide berth, and then just do your double jump and you should be fine. But once you have reached the finish line for all 8 of those jumping puzzles, you can move on to step 8. And guess what, guys? It is time for another one of Oz's challenges, and this one is called the Move Challenge, and you better move fast before this challenge even starts, because you need to spend your points. Because basically, what the Move Challenge does is every step you take, you will lose points. It's absolutely absurd. It's so evil. So you want to like spend your points before this challenge comes on like guns or upgrades or perks or something like that, because you will be moving just ever so slightly, but you'll still lose a couple of K. And it's a real problem. So the more you move, the more you lose. You actually lose more if you've got more points as well. So they actually take more off you, which is, it's just so evil. But I've never ended up with 0 points at the end. I don't know if you end up with 0 points, you fail. I'm not too sure. I doubt you will. I mean, it's a challenge at the end of the day. Maybe if you guys have figured out if you ended up with 0 points, you can tell me in the comments. But I've always ended with some points. So try and keep at least some points right there. But once you've done that challenge, it's pretty simple. You want to move on to step 9, which might seem a bit familiar to you hardcore zombie fans, because it's basically Samantha Says from Moon, however a tad longer. And the best way to explain this step is just to be patient and observant. The monitors will flash a series of colours, and when it's done, it will be your job to match the pattern, and it will get harder every time you get it right until you beat it, really. And it's pretty easy. Just make sure you're not distracted by the crawler or your friends running around or anything like that. Just keep focused and you will be fine. And once the mime game is done, you want to be moving on to step 10, and you guessed it, it is another one of Oz's crazy challenges, and this one is really, really nasty as it turns on friendly fire. And if you're playing in co-op, you have the ability to shoot and damage your team, which is really unfun. And if you're playing on solo, this will mean that the 3 other characters, the main characters, will spawn as AI, and they will just shoot you, and you can't damage them or kill them. So it's kind of like a one-way friendly fire in a way. They're kind of the same as the Atlas people who come on the shipping carrier, but that's fine. And my strat is just to kind of keep away from your team in co-op, but not too far that they can't revive you if you go down. You don't want to be throwing contact grenades and damaging them and making them go down, but at the same time, you don't want to be too far away that they can't revive you. So that's just a little tip. Just know where you're all training and know where you're all on the map for that step. The 11th step is about cracking the code, and this one's really, really interesting. So you want to be cracking the code at the terminal where the tidal room is, and if you go back to the tidal place, you will see a row, 2 rows of numbers, and it's your job to match the bottom row up with the top row. And the way you do this is as follows: the first number, the one on the left, is changed in relation to how many exoslam hits a player gets. The second number is changed when a player jumps. The third number is changed when a player spends any money. In this case, in our game, it was when we all bought grenades off the wall. And the fourth number simply changes when you get a kill. And again, you want to be doing all of those different attributes to keep ranking it up and going, 8, 9, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. You want to keep resetting it, stuff like that, until it matches the number on the top. The number on the top will always be random, depending on which game you play. But it's really, really easy. Once you get your head around it, it's not too difficult. But you need communication. If loads of people on your team are jumping and killing zombies, it's going to mess up your numbers, so you need to have great communication for this step. But once the numbers are matched up, you are into the database, and you are on to step 12, which is the last of Oz's challenges. This is what the whole Easter egg is about. That's what Reunion's description is. Complete all of Oz's challenges. This is the last one, and it's quite fun, but it's dangerous. So you're given an unlimited level 25 Mayhem. This is the Diamond Mayhem, and although this sounds really fun, like a good time, the self-inflicted damage and how slow you get when you hurt yourself from the weapon is crap. It's really, really bad. So our strategy was to quickly deploy anything we had, like turrets and reinforcements, just before the challenge started, so we had something to fall back on, because there was no way we could be surviving just by ourselves with that Mayhem. So you want to be having something that will distract the zombies as well as help you out if things are going to shit, really. But all you have to do for that one is survive another round with the Mayhems, and then the next and final step will be step number 13. So once you survive that, you want to go back to the terminal, hold X, because now you're in, you've cracked the code, and this will open up the memory station just on the right. It will power it up, and what this will do is it will actually teleport into Oz's mind. And this place is really, really interesting, and I love the inclusion of the Outbreak buses. It's like almost like a flashback, and that makes me think if the Outbreak book has any significance. Maybe that's how they got here. Maybe that's how all the clones of Oz was transported. I really don't know. But what you need to do now is nothing special. Just hold off for a couple of waves, and then you're done, really. You'll just hear Oz talking about the backstory and some spiel like that. If you don't care, then you don't have to listen to it. But it's quite interesting. But once you're done holding off, you'll be teleported back to that secret room. The game will end straight away, unlocking both the achievement Reunion for 50 gamer score, as well as double feature mode, which is like a hardcore zombies, which is really, really interesting. If you want to see that, there'll be a video on my channel in the next couple of hours. But anyway, guys, that is a complete guide for Reunion for Descent Zombies. I'd like to thank my team, Champ and Blake, or Ecliptic. Their channels will be in the description, as well as the entire Zombies community, just for coming out for the release of the stream and helping with anything they could. But yeah, you guys rock, and thank you for just putting up with Exo Zombies until Black Ops 3 Zombies. There's no more Exo Zombies now, so that's fine, although they have added some trophies or whatever. We'll see what happens. But that is the complete guide, guys. If you liked it, please rate, comment, subscribe. I'm gonna go to bed now. It's been goody, and goodbye.